people think of vacations in terms of flight schedules, pre-booked hotel rooms, and air-conditioned tour buses. But what if the greatest bucket list destinations on Earth are physically locked away from that grid?
We chose to travel the world in a van because a rolling home changes the entire math of a journey. Think about it. No suitcases to unpack. You sleep in your own bed every single night. No strict schedule requirements. You basically go when you want. Eat out to experience the local flavor, or cook right in your very own kitchen. Zero bus schedules to catch and no car rental counters to deal with. And if one person wants to rest while the other wants to go do an activity, the house is always right there.
In this video, we're taking a look back at an epic month-long journey through Mexico to prove exactly why van life opens doors that traditional travel simply can't.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, we're taking a look at our massive, epic journey through the country of Mexico. This journey starts right at the edge of the Baja Peninsula in a beautiful city called La Paz. Now, when people think of Mexican vacation spots on the water, their minds instantly go to the massive tourist spots like Cancun or Cabo San Lucas. But La Paz has a completely different vibe. It's a genuine, laid-back coastal town, peaceful, authentic, and not overrun by giant, all-inclusive high-rises.
And because it's tucked away, it actually takes some extra long logistical planning to get there if you're traveling traditionally. You're looking at specific connecting flights, long airport shuttles, or renting a car to make a major drive up from Cabo. But for us, we just roll into town with our entire house.
You getting in the water, Sean?
It's gonna be a game time decision. I'm gonna have to do a
You
vlog.
guys, cheer Snow on. She's terrified of sharks. She's afraid to get in the water. Cheer her on. We need her in the water.
This is as good a time as any to explain to y'all. I have an extremely irrational fear of sharks. I know it's silly, but it's something I've literally dealt with my whole life since like first, second grade, as long as I can remember. And every time I get up the nerve to get in the water, we seem to see a shark. Nothing crazy, but we seem to see them, and it just reinforces my silly fear. The tour is paid for and booked. We will be back here at 8 o'clock in the morning. And right now the wind forecast is muy bueno. So let's see how this turns out tomorrow, guys. We were in La Paz for one big reason: to get in the water with these magnificent whale sharks and sea lions. It's a true bucket list experience. But here is where traditional vacation stress usually ruins it. If you fly in for a short vacation, you have to pre-book your tour date months in advance. If the wind picks up, the water turns choppy, or the weather turns bad on your exact day you booked, well, you're just completely out of luck.
But with the van, we had the ultimate secret weapon: time. We simply found a convenient parking spot right in the heart of the city center, and we spent a few nights living right there. We didn't have to rush a single thing. We could afford to sit back, pick out our tour provider, monitor the local updates, and wait for the perfect day, when everything was muy bueno and we had the best conditions for our day on the water. It was absolutely incredible.
But while we were in La Paz, we noticed a major trend. Most of the tourists around us were constantly checking their phones, probably stressing over flight times or rental car returns, and counting down the hours before they had to pack their suitcases and head back to the airport. Meanwhile, we're sitting in our van, checking our maps and planning to do the exact opposite.
While everyone else is flying home, we're getting ready to take a massive leap off the Baja Peninsula to explore the hidden wonders of the mainland Mexico.
Okay guys, it is our very last night in Baja. We found a great place to watch our last Baja sunset. Camped on the beach, not far from the ferry that will take us to the mainland tomorrow. So in the morning we will get up and start that journey. And we're gonna take you guys with us so you can see what all is involved in taking 2 cats, 2 people, and a self-built van from Baja to mainland Mexico.
To get to those hidden gems, we had to cross the Sea of Cortez.
Bye bye Baja.
It has been an amazing 2 months.
Oh, paradise. Why are we leaving?
Gotta go see the rest of the world.
Now, a normal traveler has to book a passenger ferry where the logistics get incredibly stressful, especially if you have pets. On those passenger ships, your pets are strictly crated, separated from you, and kept in a completely different area of the boat where you can't even visit them.
Now, since our cats, Vanna and Chi-Money, are part of the family, that was just a deal breaker. So we chose the commercial cargo ferry. It was a rough 13-hour rocking journey across open water, and Curt actually had come down with a brutal ear infection right as we were ready to set sail, and to be honest, he was completely miserable. The ferry's rocking a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
The winds were strong today, and there's a little bit of a rock. The cats are doing well.
Yeah, we got back in, we went and had dinner, we got back in, both cats were sitting on the couch looking up at us like, guys, this is a whole new kind of bumpy road. What's going on? But they're fine. It's not that bumpy. It's just a little rock, a little roll. So guys, we're well underway now on the ferry. It's getting dark outside. We're buttoning everything up. And it's not bad. It's not bumpy, but we are rocking back and forth just like you would on a boat. We're not as big as a big cruise ship, so we feel the rocking a little bit more. But our kitties are dealing with it just fine. But they can definitely tell something is up. They're like, hey guys, the van is moving. What is going on? Because I don't hear any bumpy roads. So Vanna is looking at us with her big old giant eyes, saying, guys, I want to play with that toy right there. I don't care that the boat's rocking. I just want to play with the toy. I'm sorry, Curt is still fighting his earache. So he's laid up in the bed. So I would say me and the kitties are handling the ferry a lot better than Curt. Right, Vanna? So guys, it is 7:15 and we are in some bigger waves. Nothing dangerous, guys. It's not like that. But we are rocking back and forth. So as you can see, Vanna's little kitty toy and the curtains are kind of sliding a little bit. How you doing back there, Curt? He's rocking Curt to sleep, guys. But we are definitely rocking. We are. Here, a little shower curtain's going. I was going to shower. That's not an option right now. Not at all.
Now, if we were traveling traditionally, I would have been stuck upright in a stiff passenger seat or a cramped cabin. But we had our own home right there with us on the deck. I spent the entire night resting comfortably in my own bed and nursing my ear infection.
It really is a game changer when your house is right there with you. We paid about $513 at the time for this cargo ticket, and it brought us total peace of mind for our cats and a comfortable place for Curt to rest up.
And by morning, the water settled, the cargo doors opened, and we watched the Mazatlan skyline appear on the horizon, officially welcoming us to mainland Mexico. And just like that, guys, welcome to mainland Mexico, Mazatlan. Once we hit the mainland, we started making our way towards the famous little town, and everyone recognizes the name of this place by the name Tequila.
Let's talk about the logistics of normal travel here. If you're staying in the city of Guadalajara and you want to see Tequila, you have to navigate the crowded bus terminals. Then take the public bus, which roughly takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the heavy traffic, dropping you off in the center of town. But you are completely locked to their schedule. No lingering around after a short tour. You get right back on the bus and head back to your hotel in Guadalajara. I guess it would be possible for you to rent a car in Guadalajara and drive yourself, but that also comes with some extra logistics. Pickup times, return times, possible rental scams.
Yeah, and with the van, lines on the map didn't dictate our night. The first night we parked on the quiet dirt trail right in the middle of the blue agave fields, fell asleep under the stars, and woke up to explore pristine hidden waterfalls that tourists simply don't even know exist. And we just got to Tequila. And we're parked here in the agave fields. And I'm on this little dirt trail back through these agave farms. And back here, there's some waterfalls. So guys, some kind of way, I still have to figure out how to get down there. That's probably about 25 feet. I haven't seen what it looks like. I just see what these kids are doing to get down in there. I can get a pretty good view of it from up here. But man, you know, you always want to get that money shot. Let's see here. I don't know how you get down. Alright guys, so if you know me, I couldn't give up. After I shut the camera off, I gave it one last effort and I literally came down a wall. Just as straight up and down as the one I was showing you of those kids. So, I made it down here. At the bottom, there's a nice pool to splash around. And some of those rocks right there, the kids are using to slide on. And then you've got a couple level of waterfalls right here. And the stone face is just like a light brown. It's absolutely gorgeous. A little trickle of water. And as an added bonus, there's another little fall down here. And if you can see just over that pipe, or just below that pipe, there's a rock ledge. I think there might be another waterfall drop right there.
Don't let go. I understand. I know it hurts. It wasn't fair. It's over now, so don't despair.
The next day, we took a deep dive into learning the incredible history of how true tequila is made from the local humidors.
So these are the agave plants right here, okay? This is the type of plants that we need to make tequila, all right? In Mexico, there's around 150 different varieties, but we can only use this variety to make tequila, which is called Agave Tequila Weber Variedad Azul. Or you just call it Agave Azul, blue agave.
We learned that a blue agave plant takes 7 to 8 years to mature, and a skilled worker carves down the heavy leaves using a razor-sharp tool called a coa, C-O-A. Maybe I'm saying that right, to get to the heart of the piña.
It takes over 15 pounds of agave heart just to make 1 liter of pure tequila. They steam it in brick ovens for 26 hours, turn it sweet, mash it, and ferment it for days. When you witness the manual labor that goes into a single bottle, you'll never look at a glass of tequila or shot the same way again. Now, on a little side note, once we settled into van life, our social drinking slowed way down, and fast forward until today, and it's not often you'll see us with a drink. But in our pre-van life, I sure enjoyed sipping on some good tequila.
From Tequila, we pushed further east into the mountains of Michoacán to target the Monarch Butterfly Biosphere Reserve. This was a major bucket list item for us.
This destination perfectly highlights the absolute freedom of traveling by van. The butterfly migration is locked to an incredibly tight seasonal window. Arrive too early, and they're not there yet. Arrive a little too late, and they've already left to take their journey thousands of miles to the north. These dates vary each year depending on the weather.
Now, if you've booked a traditional rigid vacation, well, you're just completely at the mercy of luck that your timing is right. But with our van, we have total fluid control over our schedule. If we hear whispers from other travelers that an early spring is warming up the mountains and the butterflies might leave early, we can instantly speed up our route to catch them before they leave. On the flip side, if we hear they're arriving later than expected, we could just choose to linger at a beautiful beach for a few extra days. We adapt to nature. Nature doesn't have to try to adapt to our flight schedule.
Exactly. And when you finally make the trek up into those high altitude pine forests, you realize how rewarding it is to have the flexibility. Taking the horses 90% of the way up was a fantastic call. When you reach the top, millions of butterflies blanket the trees so densely you can actually hear the rustling of their wings in the quiet forest.
So we just got off the horses, and it's about a 15-minute walk, they tell me, to get to the area where there's a ton of butterflies, but we're seeing a bunch right now. They're all up in the trees. They're tough, so it's tough to film them. But we're gonna get down here and we're gonna see some. You'll probably see butterflies fluttering around. There is a lot of them, but I anticipate there's gonna be some more once we get up here.
So guys, we got about 20 more meters till we get to where he says we're gonna stop and watch them. But man, they are everywhere already. They're flying all around. This is really cool. But the best part of the van life advantage happened at the end of the day. Traditional tourists are tethered to a strict tour bus schedule. As the afternoon winds down, they're forced to pack up, rush back down the mountain, and load onto the crowded buses to beat the traffic back to the cities.
Because we had our home waiting for us down by the Biosphere parking lot, we didn't have to rush a single thing. We intentionally stayed late, watched the crowds completely evaporate, and experienced the reserve in absolute peace. Once everyone left, we built a campfire, hung out with some other van life travelers we met along the way, and slept right there in the fresh mountain air. Our final stop on this journey was a place that Snow had on her bucket list for over a year. Las Grutas de Tolantongo, deep in the mountains of Hidalgo, which came with an amazing adventure ride down some tight switchbacks with an unbelievable view.
Bit of a curvy road, guys. Bit of a curvy road. And look.
She always drives on the curly roads, but that's just a hairpin. Look at these gorgeous cliffs and drops over here. Absolutely stunning views. Feels like almost out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, you see this big canyon.
To put the traditional travel perspective on this one, if you try to get to Tolantongo from Mexico City without your own vehicle, it's going to be a 4 to 5 hour trek one way, involving multiple bus transfers and shared local vans. And if the canyon hotels are full when you arrive, which happens constantly because they don't take advance bookings, then you're stuck renting a tent from the park and sleeping on the ground.
But we had a much better setup. We had our house with us, and we were able to camp overnight in a small parking lot directly overlooking the famous tiered hot tubs carved into the side of a cliff.
Now at the time, this only cost us about $5 to park right here over this famous spot. We had our own kitchen, our own hot shower, and our own comfortable bed, perched on the edge of a cliff with a $1 million view. And once again, getting to be the last ones in the evening or the very first ones in the morning, well, that means you get this place all to yourself for a bit. So Tolantongo is a hot springs in a valley up in the mountains, several hours north of Mexico City in the state of Hidalgo. It is their #1 tourist attraction in this state, and when you see it, you're gonna see why. But the hot water comes from within the mountains, that comes from all the surrounding volcanoes around in this area. And it is crystal clear mineral water with no smell. There's no sulfur in this water. Extremely beautiful, and they've done a nice job building this park. There are water slides, soaking pools at different temperatures, tunnels you can walk through where there's steam. There's a bridge where you can walk over a canopy of trees and kind of look out over the valley. So yesterday we were in the thermal pools overlooking that amazing valley. This morning we did the grotto, which was my favorite, no doubt about it. This afternoon we're in this amazing turquoise blue warm river. This water is warm, and it's coming from the grotto and that waterfall up there. And we're just surrounded by these beautiful mountains and this incredible turquoise water.
When we look back on the entire month of travel, and for that matter, our time in the van, every single one of those heavy bucket list experiences was made better, safer, and entirely stress-free because we were living and traveling in a van.
Traditional vacations, they're great if you want to stay on a resort. But some of Mexico's best hidden gems are just tucked away. Now, traveling in a van, that doesn't mean you're sacrificing comfort. It means you're taking your van and that comfort directly to the edge of the world.
Now, if you guys want to see the full, unedited daily adventures from this trip, we'll leave the links of our original 2020 Road series in the description below. Drop a comment and let us know. Would you tackle these mountain roads in a van?
Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you again in a few days. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button, hit that notification bell so when you know more videos are coming out. We'll see you in a few days.
Cheers, guys.